earnings, the price to earnings ratio, or look at the earnings. The company is not the stock, right? So you want to look at a company that is earning more and paying you back more. You want to compare the dividend yield of the stock to the dividend coupon of the bond. So if the bonds are paying you more, you may want to buy bond, because why take the risk? But if its bonds are not paying you a lot, that's when you look at equities. I don't want to go too much into the rabbit hole, but that's just one to quickly put out there for you. We're almost at 45. Do we have a time for one poll? Because there are tons of questions here that we have to take care of. Do we have one more poll to go? Or we're done?
Let's do that poll. Let's do that poll later. So let's take a few more questions and then, hold on the poll. Thank you. So let's take a few more questions from the box, Kalu, and then we'll do the poll.
Someone saying, how do we go about buying federal government bonds? Federal government bonds are sold, I believe, savings bonds are sold quarterly. You can buy a savings bond. They have minimum 5,000 naira, but government bonds are big boy bonds. If you want to buy those, you go through your bank, and they are sold when they are offered to the public. So in your case, you might want to do a savings bond. They pay anywhere from 10 to 13%. They are the quote-unquote safest investment in Nigeria. So if you don't want to lose your money at all, your principal at all, you buy federal government bonds because they are safe. They will never crash. The problem is that they might not pay you enough to beat inflation. Someone is asking if this is going to be recorded. Will the recording of this be made available? So maybe are you at the end? Please let us know if we're going to have the recordings in it. And then there's a nice one. How can a low-income earner invest in mental and physical well-being in our current economic state? Interesting question from Tommy. Do you want to take a crack at that? How can a low-income earner? It's a very serious question, right? Invest in mental and physical well-being. Wow.
Okay.
What do you say, Uju? Talk to me.
I like that question, and I like the fact that you've said a low-income earner. For some of the things that we actually need to contribute to a good and balanced mental health, they're free, like walking. I know you're going to say to me, I can't walk in Nigeria, it's not safe, but I'm sure you can walk inside your compound. Walking is really, 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 really free, and it's good for all of your body. Yeah. Now, eating healthy. Some people say eating healthy is really very expensive, but I think living back home in Nigeria, where you have access to fresh food, I'll put it that way, it's easily available. You can even grow your own, or you find your neighbor is growing something. Then I think the ability to have that access is also good. So eating healthy and then exercising, simple exercise. You don't need to go to a gym, believe me, to exercise and to be healthy. The third thing you could do around that is get information, because information is power. If I know things that we've talked about here, inflation, rate of return on the investments, the kind of investments that are available, what my attitude is, then I know. I'll give you a very good example. If I know that I'm not a risk taker, it doesn't matter what anybody comes to say to me. It doesn't matter the proposal that you bring to me. I'm not going to be tempted because I understand myself. And so I prevent myself from getting into a frantic, panicked situation where I've given money to someone and the person's number is not going through anymore, or their office has been locked and I can't find them. Because I know myself, and I only invest in the things that I know are suitable for me. This is the bedrock of investment and financial independence. Once you understand yourself, then it's easy for you to make the right kind of decisions. And when you make the right kind of decisions, then you are better mentally sound, because you're not in a panic. Even if things are happening, you know that, okay, I put my money in a fixed deposit. That's what I can manage. They will pay me my 3% every month and I will see it. Or I put my money in a money market fund. Every quarter, they distribute the dividend and I see it. Then I will be balanced. My mental health will be okay. What then causes a challenge to us is when we're doing things that are outside our remit and outside what we're really comfortable with. There is a time, of course, to challenge yourself and go outside your comfort zone. But invariably, 70% of the time, you should be investing on what is suitable for you. And the rest, you can then take a chance to, once in a while with 10% or 2% or 5%, that's understandable. But the bulk of what you do must be suitable to you. So learn to exercise. Exercise in terms of taking a walk, doing some video exercises in your house. That will help you physically. 2, try to eat right. You know, I mean, the African diet is so rich. We don't do McDonald's and KFC and Burger King all the time. Yeah, but we do pounded yam and and Gary. Yeah, but try to eat right, you know, a nice healthy meal with vegetables and lean meats. That's one of the things that you can do. And 3, as I said, know yourself. And so do the investments that are within your remit. A 4th thing that I would also throw in would be get information. I think I said that already. Get information, read, find out, talk to your banker, you know, because the more you know, the more you can then make better and informed decisions. Do you want to add anything to that?
I think I like the way you put in that mental health, right? That mental health to the whole equation. I know at the very beginning, I talked about mental and financial health, but really, if you are not healthy physically in your body, you can't invest money. In Nigeria, unfortunately, we have NHIS, but we don't have Social Security. You are one major signals away from being bankrupt. So when you are investing, you want to also invest that you want to have that money, that emergency fund there to take care of you when you are really, really ill. So investing is not just because you want to make money, it's protection. It gives you peace of mind. When you have money in the bank, or you have a job, or you have a skill, it gives you peace of mind. I can get through what might come that you haven't seen. So that's a good point you put there.
Okay. Hello, I'm going to ask you one last question because we had it here, and then let's talk about it a bit. And it's a little bit about my family. How will my family be taken care of if I'm not here? What can I do in, you know, ensuring? I mean, I talked earlier on about people are living longer, but I mean, let's assume I don't live so long. And what can I do? Will my family be taken care of? Many years ago, there's a question I used to pose to people, and I would say, if you are the breadwinner of your home and something happens to you, how long can your family last before they become destitute? Would it be 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year? And the answers I got were frightening. But let's hear, you know, from you as well, Kalu.
Yeah,
what can people do about estate planning, insurance, all of that? Tell me.
Yeah, that whole estate planning thing, there are lots of steps you have to do. Number 1 is record keeping. Your next of kin in Nigeria, folks look at it as the person that is my heir. No, you see men do this. Men will take their 5-year-old son and put that next of kin and not their wife. Your 5-year-old son cannot do a contract, so he cannot be a next of kin. Next of kin means who can go and conduct your affairs if you're no longer there. So the first thing is to keep your paperwork in your company where you work has to be up to date and has to reflect your wishes. Very important. So update next of kins and all that. Number 2, if you can, write a will, if you can. If you can, do a trust. So trust and a will, trust is you can be alive and have a trust. You can say all my assets go to this person when he's 18, and then go to my church or my mosque when I'm 21. You can write whatever you want in a trust. It's no longer your asset. It goes somewhere, and you have a corporate trustee that will then oversee that trust and make sure wishes are carried out. So it can be challenged in court. Like you might pass away, you write a will, it's challenged in court. Trust can be challenged. So those are the 2 things you kind of start to do right now. But most importantly, guys, make sure you are asking yourself, like you said, what will happen if I'm no longer there? You can't insure your life, but you can insure the loss of income. So life insurance is that you are insuring the loss of income to your dependents. So if you don't have a dependent, you don't need life insurance per se. But once you have a dependent, once you get married, you have to get life insurance and put that dependent on your life insurance, because if you pass away, the person married you maybe because 2 of you are going to pay for bills. Now, if you're gone, you leave the 1 person with all the bills. It looks kind of funny, right? And also, you can use life insurance to say, hey, the life insurance gets paid to this school to cover the education of my kids, and any balance left over can then be given to them. So you can specify where life insurance can go to. It doesn't have to go to a will. It will not go anywhere but to only where you have specified. Long and short, talk to a lawyer about your assets. You want to transfer your assets from you to who you want to without dissipation. You don't want to work hard, make all that money, and it's dissipated via legal challenge and the assets waste away. talk to your lawyer. If you want to get a trustee, get that done. It's very, very good advice.
Thank you very much, Kalu. That's really very good. Insurance is not something we really think about, or writing a will. Most men think that when you say write a will, they believe you want to kill them and take all their money. And so that awareness and attitude really has to change. I always have a short story that I tell. Working in a bank, we had this customer who came in with his very beautiful wife, and they had an 18-month-old son.